firstly, I would say, how long is long? I'm sure you all appreciate from the time that even His Excellency went on and announced about Starlink coming in. It took some time for us to be able to go through some rigorous process. Everything needs regulation. There's nothing which just doesn't come through without us being able to understand and be able to monitor who is doing what. So as far as we are concerned, we've not disallowed anyone to be able to operate or be able to be a reseller for Starlink. But what we've done, what Potras has done, which is the licensing authority, is to make sure they need to know who is doing what and at what place. If we don't have any regulations, it becomes difficult for us to be able to operate in any way. That's why you even see, even in terms of cyber security, we've put measures for us to be able to monitor around that. Even cyber security on its own, for us to monitor even and be able to also regulate and also securitize everyone else. So for us, what we have done is to allow Starlink to be able to have a license and then be able to also allow it to have some resellers, and that is within the license that we give them. And all other players which have not yet been approved, I'm sure is going to be coming through. We can't be having monopoly on such an innovation. And all we can do is for us to support and make sure that we've got an enabling environment which allows everyone to be able to operate it. So if one is going to say it has taken long, I think the first person was even supposed to complain was Starlink on his own, to even say, because the time that it was told, the time that His Excellency gave the announcement, until now they've been given a license, I'm sure you all appreciate how long that took. And I don't know if there is any person, in my view, that I would want to know, if there is any person who has taken that long without being given or issued a license. So let us not just try to create issues which do not exist, by people thinking they can be a monopoly. How can we monopolize such? We are not in any capacity to do that, but there is due diligence, and also there is some regulations that also allow operations on that, and that is what Potras is doing. Definitely, it is not illegal for one to be able to buy directly from Starlink, and that's why we've actually opened up the space to make sure that there are a lot of options for everyone, so that we are able to reach out to everyone in the country. We are also very much hoping that at least we can then be able to reach out to even people outside Harare alone or any other place that we would call is very much connected. So definitely one can be able to purchase online. I'm sure you've seen that. But of course, like what they were saying, they were now talking the business side of this of saying they've got some other services that they're also offering, that Aura is also offering. And we are saying Aura is one, but also we have opened up the space to allow everyone who is willing to be able to become a reseller, as long as they agree with Starlink firstly, and then they come to Potras and then their license. There is definitely no problem with that. Like I said, that is about one, being able to have an ISP license, but of course, anyone else can then be able to also procure individually if they want to. And of course, they also have a point of presence in this country for us to be able to monitor this for us on our regulation side. When we were hoping for us to be having free Wi-Fi zones, we're just not looking at Starlink alone. We're also looking at even other options, the likes of even our locals also providing even through fiber. But of course, any options which could come around that are very much welcome, and we're hoping for us, the end game is for us to make sure that we provide for free internet and have free Wi-Fi zones for young people, for them to actually be able to operate. So we are very much working on it, but not very much specific, of course, to Starlink alone, even to the telco players which are already in existence. We are hoping that they can actually be able to tap onto that. Because for us, we don't want to be closing or the gap, or being able to start in and seem like we are just looking at Starlink alone and not looking at the players that we already have. That we have tried to make sure. And what we're also doing is, if you look at the space that Starlink will come and occupy, and the space that our telcos already have, like our talk, for example, Econet network, they are all different spaces. We're talking about mobile, and they were talking about even having bulk data being resold. So for me, I'm really looking at this to say that there's an opportunity for everyone. The space is big for everyone. Just like I remember there was a revolution. This is a revolution that is upon us, which we need to embrace as a country. And we can speak of the time that we had the fixed landline, and then we had the mobile phone. This is exactly the same time we're having. This technology is very dynamic. We need to very much appreciate. All we can do as a country is to embrace and look at what trends we can then be able to look at, which make sure that we provide for connectivity. We want to provide for efficient, reliable, and affordable connectivity to the people of Zimbabwe. That is where we come in as government. And for us, we are opening up the space to say, yes, like for today, you know it very well, there are people who use phones, and then there are people who use cell phones, which are fixed phones, and then we have cell phones. But they still coexist. So for us, we believe that the coming of Starlink is going to make every organization is already in existence coexist with what is there and be able to make sure that we integrate with coming up with reliable and efficient connectivity.